Hey everyone, it's Sangod, aka Zero here. Coming back to our story, who's now been killed off again, so the story has been rewound. I actually have an idea, and I've done these two, but I haven't done see what I can do with Lapino in a while, so I'm gonna try the Lapino again, and hoping it doesn't go as bad as the others have. Because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can do, so...
Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. Lapino's frantic message said that the Ravens were going to kill him for being a rebel spy. And that he had a clever plan. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Or so Lapino had told him over the far speaker anyway. Had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen the winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
Okay. It's been a while since I've actually been back in this town. Nope. Twice. Oh wait, I thought there was somebody over there.
People were frightened these days. Just 2 weeks past, Renardo had sneaked through an empty town and listened to the Ravens call about the Emperor's new taste in ritual sacrifice. Hey, how do you tell if someone's far away or just really small?
Well, that was easy enough. Let's open the treasure box and get whatever is inside. I think I may actually have to swap my gems around, because the fact that I have all the gems now, but some are level 3 and some are level 2, might actually...
I'll just have a dash, thought Renardo.
Make it easier for me to level up if I have the ones that are like lower levels. I like going down the well.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lapino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lapino. Well, unless he really was a traitor, obviously. Then they'd probably pin a medal on his chest.
Okay, so...
There was a pleasant breeze coming through that door. Had it been closed before?
Okay, so I kind of started actually thinking something here. We've gotten the Ibis Stone before. We've gotten the one device that made the black hole. What if we sit there and we took the thing that held it and put it with the Ibis Stone inside of it? Would that actually work? Okay, so another letter. Dear Zenobia, how are you? How are you enjoying the academy? New friends must already be flocking around you, no doubt. Here in the palace, things are the same. I have much time to dedicate to my special hobby. I have been collaborating with Professor Calaveras and his team of experts to investigate the nature of the islands. My gut is telling me that the islands are alive. I think they are have a will of their own. Do you hear me, daughter? Our world could be more than floating masses of rock and water. Professor Calaveras and his boys have made measurements. The islands are drifting, surrounded by the endless sky. It is difficult to notice, but through careful measurements of the wind over a long period of time, certainly islands are moving westward. But where to? It may take centuries, millennium to reach the destination. I have this strange idea. What if the islands are some sort of herd and some sort of herd, and that they're deliberately searching for another herd of islands? Can you imagine new islands with their own inhabitants? The thought that we may not be alone. If only could live long enough to witness the events. With love, Father. Okay, so yeah, all these letters are like before he kind of goes crazy.
Truth was, Renato really liked the sound his sword made in the air.
Sure, go with that. Oh, looky, we found our rabbit.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia.
We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
We're actually going to go for the Sky Ripper, because I kind of want to see what would happen.
To make the Sky Ripper, the Transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that.
The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy.
He sure had. Renato told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. True, the core was capable of terrible, uncontrollable destruction.
Yep.
But this time, he was sure it would work great. Beautiful here, thought Renato. It was nice to be back with his old war buddy. All right. Lapino was a traitor. But still, he was good company.
Yeah, Lapino's gonna sit there and backstab me. Down the well I go. Sorry, I don't know why I'm actually yawning so much right now. Well, it could be because I'm like recording these at like 6, almost. Probably like 7 o'clock at night. So I guess it's kind of reasonable.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. Good! I need a new rug for my nest, said the lead raven.
So many ravens. That was
Renato
quick.
felt wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, a few birds, if you didn't count the ravens. Renato smelled sick animals and dying ones. No healthy ones. I'm getting a bad feeling about this, Renato thought. Maybe Lapina was right. Maybe he should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
And last one.
As he held the radiant icosahedron, Renato felt queasy, like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Renato ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Renato ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lapino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial Outpost. The Imperial Outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Renato. But what if Lapino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it? Was Renato ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
Yeah. I don't trust him, so I'm gonna be smarter because I'm gonna take it myself.
Lapino was a touchy rabbit. Renato knew that. You're brave, I know, Renato said. But this is what I was hired to do.
Oh, well, at least let me run ahead and warn them you're coming.
Renato wondered if Lapino was up to no good. What if the rabbit warned the Empire instead? Oh, but Lapino wouldn't betray him like that. Not again. Before it'd been a fluke,
No.
right? They
No.
finished the trip to the Nexus in silence. He would offer Lapino a chance to betray him, or not to. His old friend deserved another chance to prove true. All right, Renato said. Go.
Nexus, I love it more. It looks so cool.
As Renato watched Lapino vanish on the horizon, he could feel nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much? But how could he have handed the core off to Lapino? That was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it would have been. Is my health actually going down? My health is actually going down. This thing is like poisoning me now. Oh, goody. So this is kind of where I need to be quick. I may need the green. Let's switch over to my ice sword. It'll work. let's just finish this. Okay, I need to find help.
Bernardo felt worse. All his joints were aching now. He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you. That's new. Well, it had power. The rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Okay, so I am switching out my gyms because I kind of want to try... Okay, so I am going to equip, well, switch it over to one that I actually... No, actually, I will keep my one I actually have. Because all of them are now 3, so it's actually good.
Good thing Renato didn't have vertigo.
Come on. Ow. Get off this. This may actually be the hardest one I've done, because you're actually stuck on a time limit. And it's not a very generous time limit.
Say hi to gravity for me.
Okay, I need to be quicker. Run. Bernardo is slowly dying. At 1 XP. Oh, looky what our friend has done.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Bernardo found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk. The ravens, they must have known we were coming, said Lupino. How did you... Well, see, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base. Renato wasn't sure he believed that, but Lupino was talking so fast. He always seemed to make sense. The secret rebel base. Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
I think I'm actually going to take it to the secret base because I have not done the secret base yet.
Ah, yes. The secret base. Not even Lupino knew where it was. They had engineers there. Those toads would surely know what to do with the core's power. And then he'd be free of it. But he couldn't take Lupino. The core would work its evil on him too. You stay here.
Give me the coordinates. I'll meet you there.
Lupino seemed awfully anxious to have the coordinates of the secret rebel base. Someone needs to bury these scientists.
Why do I get all the fun jobs?
And with that, Renato returned to the Farfarer and took off.
So I'm guessing if you actually was doing this on your first playthrough and actually told, I guess maybe you would have actually told Lapino where the coordinates are, something would actually happen. So I guess this is something kind of, I don't trust him already. He's not telling him.
The ruins were quiet, but Renato could hear a buzzing in his ears. Was it bugs? Or was it the core slowly feeding him poison? The council would know what to do. If the core had this much power, it could surely change the terms of the great battle that was coming. And maybe they would take this burden from him. Maybe.
See if I can actually find health. I hate that some of these don't break. Ugh. Not worrying about it.
He missed her. Not Zenobia. Hypatia. The kid's mother. Renato had never thought he'd date a librarian. He'd always figured himself for the barmaid type. But then, he'd never figured the library of Ubar would have comic books, or that Hypatia would know anything about them. He missed her.
Oh, so we kind of got a little bit more backstory to Renardo. Stuff that doesn't really matter, but it's at least some stuff.
The Empire's chokehold was closing around the rebellion. The base was still secret for now, but for how long? They would have to make a move soon. The core. They had to find a way to use the core.
Oh no, that was a dirty trick game.
How had it come to this? Renato had signed on as an adventurer. Sure, the Emperor had gone mad. Sure, Renato had heard horrors from the ghosts of dead kittens and puppies sacrificed in his blasphemous rituals. But when he jumped in, he'd only been a little bored and slightly broke. And here he was, carrying a bucket of death across a broken landscape. Why not drop it and run? Because he hated to quit in the middle. That was his fatal flaw. He had to know how it all turned out.
Yeah, I sadly did just die.
He blinked.
Ow.
When I build my castle, thought Renato, all my gates are going to open with buttons, and all the levers will drop rocks at your head.
I've seen a lot of castles like that before. Take him out. Take him out. Okay, I will go there extremely. Like, that's my next stop. I have to go grab some health, though.
Renato checked to make sure his sword was still working. Yep.
Okay, so now I can actually just run in, and I should be okay.
He dropped the core at the entrance to the council chambers.
Get that thing out of here!
Croaked the speaker.
It's making us sick!
That's the core of the Sky Ripper, said Renato.
No, it's not useless at all.
Said an engineer toad.
It's poisonous. Look at the fox. He's ill. Probably dying.
Yeah, not useless at all, said Renato. So what do I do? Rub it on His Majesty? The engineer chuckled. Renato didn't like it when engineers chuckled.
Oh, I got it. Listen, I can make a bomb that spread bits of the core all over a circle about 100 paces wide. Yeah. Little chunks of poison and death. All you have to do is just get it near the Emperor. You'll kill him and his bodyguard and chop off the head of the fleet. Yeah, and if we're lucky, might poison some of the ravens around there as well.
What about me?
Right, what about you? Well, I'll build in a timer. You can set it and run.
No, that's a horrible idea, said Renato.
Well, we have to do something, yes?
Said the speaker.
This is something.
Renato couldn't argue with that. And so, reluctantly, Renato loaded the rigged core onto the Farfarer and set sail towards the Emperor's ship. The rebels took the fight to the Imperial fleet, but Renato was too sick to enjoy the view. He must have passed out as a firm hand grabbed him and shoved him forward. This was it.
Okay, so we're coming to this end.
The fleet seemed very big, and its ravens very tough. Or maybe he was just slower and weaker than before. He hated the idea of poisoning the enemy. It wasn't fair. Face to face with a raven, let the best swordsman survive. But they wouldn't even know what was killing them. Feather by feather, scale by scale. He didn't mind dying a hero. That sometimes went with being a hero. But he didn't feel at all like a hero. Not today. There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet.
Gotta get up there without dying. Yay, lots of health. Stupid chips. That's weird that it kind of glitches every now and then, like I can't move. Especially when it's like I'm poisoned and it doesn't want to let me move.
He was exhausted. He was making stupid mistakes. His fur was coming off in bunches. Up ahead, he could see the Emperor's ship, long and sleek, a floating palace. The bomb would only poison a circle 100 paces wide. He would get as close as he could, set it, and run. Oh, this was a lousy way to win a rebellion, he thought. He didn't want to medal for this. He just wanted to be forgotten. What did you do if one of these platforms stalled?
Okay, so let's head this way and keep going down without dying. 'Cause this is where I normally get hurt. This is actually a very harder mission because of the fact that I am poisoned. So I don't really have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I'm trying not to actually die. Okay, there's just 4 of them left, and I have 300 health. Or 30 health.
Renato twisted the timer and the bomb as far as it would go and staggered off. His knees hurt. Oh, everything hurt. He staggered away as far as he could until he had to lie down. He could see the entire Imperial fleet from here, and the rebel ships engaged with it. There was a blinding flash. And a second later, a monstrous thump. Burning rocks arced across the sky over both fleets. A wreath of fire shot outwards, rolling across the fleets. A pillar of smoke boiled up from where the Emperor's ship had been. It reached into the clouds. That's a wee bit more than 100 paces, thought Renato. It took Renato most of that evening to die. Some of the toughest ravens lasted all week. Some of the rebels and the furthest ships survived as much as a month. That winter, with neither Empire nor rebels to rule them, the islands slid into banditry. And so began the Second Age of Darkness. He should go back to some of the choices he'd faced before. Maybe there were new paths that had opened up, like those doors he was opening up all over the map that took him to new treasures and around his enemies. And he hadn't learned anything new this time. He'd done the same thing twice, yet expected a different outcome.
So there's a total of 24 story endings, but there's a 25th if you can unlock all of these. Or at least unlock the 4 you need to open the lock with. So, sadly, Bernardo ends up making a bomb and the whole world ends up dying. So, let's see. We've had Traitor's Friend, Traitor's Friend, Traitor's Friend, Betrayed by Love, Betrayed by Darkness, Black Hole, and now Bomb. Well, it seems like Renardo's having a very good life. So I'm actually going to end the video here on this one. So I hope you guys actually enjoyed this. Leave a like, subscribe, share this video with all your friends. I will try to actually let you guys know as soon as I can about if I'm going to do a video on Friday. It all kind of depends on what I have planned for that night. I'll try to find out as much as I can, and I will let you know as soon as I can. Till then, like, subscribe, share this video with all your friends, please. And stay frosty, everyone, and I will see you all in my next video. Good, and Bye.